Welcome to The Casting Dead, a podcast for The Walking Dead on AMC. I'm Matt.
And I'm David.
And today we'll be discussing Season 7, Episode 10, titled New Best Friends.
My, oh my.
Who do you think the new best friends were in this, David?
Let's say... Well, they are revealed to be the Scavengers.
Yep, the Garbage Pail Gang.
And we found out through the Talking Dead, didn't we?
Well, I didn't. I don't watch it.
You don't how'd you find out then?
Online.
Okay, it was online, so it wasn't even revealed during the episode. So
No.
I was just wondering.
Some of that information you do got to dig deep to get.
Or you just wait a couple minutes afterwards.
Yeah. I think it's more interesting to come up with your own names for them. Garbage Pail Gang?
Yeah. Did you come up with that?
Reminiscent of the Garbage Pail Kids.
Right.
Only they're grown up.
Oh,
now.
I got that. Yeah, I got the nostalgia on that.
Yeah.
By the way, happy birthday.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
No problem. It's a joyous occasion. We're casting, and then you gotta hurry for dinner.
I'll just put the sound of crickets in after you wish that to me, and we'll carry on.
Oh, sure. Not too much of an awkward silence, but we're good.
No.
We can make one.
Well, now I got to get it out on time while it's still my birthday.
Right.
But thank you, David.
No problem.
Thank you. What did you think of this episode? Episode 2 of the second half of this season.
I hate how we're just
It's rough. It's episode 10, but if you compare it to last season or last half season, this is the episode where we met King Ezekiel. Mm-hmm. Better than that episode, right?
Definitely. Oh, I'm not saying. I'm not saying I dislike it. I actually like the episode. I especially like the encounter with the Scavengers. We got an overall glimpse of what's going on throughout the entire universe. Now narrowing in on just several characters on where they are.
Well, the entire universe, Georgia. It's all perspective.
The TWD universe.
Yeah, there you go. Well, what about Fear the Walking Dead? That's going on somewhere.
Yeah. Passage. Are you watching Passage too? Shall we talk about that?
No idea what that is.
Passage is like the shorts that they have in the commercial breaks. It's I think it's some sort of spin-off from the Fear the Walking Dead, not the Walking Dead, but
well. Yeah. I don't know enough to argue.
No,
I want to
argue. It's there.
I just love to argue with you.
You do. But
I think it was a pretty great episode.
I wouldn't call it great.
It was
I liked
a weird episode, but definitely light years ahead of what it was a year ago or half a year ago at this time.
I didn't check the ratings. They haven't. I think just I should do some digging myself instead of having it wait for it to come to me, because it was just so easy last half of the season just to wait for the ratings are going down or anything. But I'm gonna probably look into it next week, just see if the ratings have actually gone up since, like the viewings and everything. So.
Yeah, I think response is pretty good. I think people are enjoying it.
Well,
unless you read Forbes articles,
it's true. I forgot to look into that too. I didn't feel like doing any research for this episode from what it seemed. It was because I feel like I like taking it for what it was. I didn't have to do anything additional. I didn't have to look for any backlash or anything like that.
You got lazy.
Well, yeah, but but a good reason to get lazy. I mean, like the last half of the season, you couldn't be lazy. You had to hear what everybody was saying about the episode, how disappointing it was, what was wrong with it. We wanted to see if we had common thoughts with everybody else.
You don't want to highlight the praise, see if everybody liked the same things you like.
But the thing is, nobody highlights the praise from what it seems. There's no significant outstanding. Well, that's the thing. Usually, with good shows, there would be praise after every week. Walking Dead doesn't have that anymore.
No, they're a weird. They're a weird situation.
It didn't used to be like that. I mean, we're talking like last season even. Just people were snubbing the Oscars for they were just like didn't care about the last Oscar nominations. They'd be watching The Walking Dead and
Walking Dead's not going to get Oscar
Oscars. No, it's not. But
any of that stuff. But let's let's give credit where credit's due. I think this was a pretty good.
It was, yeah. Definitely.
So far, it's starting out to be a good season.
Right.
Half season.
So yeah, second half season.
Yeah. Exactly. Let's. You want to get into? You want to get into the recap of this?
Well,
episode?
Unless you want to keep going on tangents.
I don't.
Well, there you go. So let's get on the recap.
5 minutes in, we got to get into it. All right.
And it's his birthday alarm. So, just to remind him,
we open up with King Ezekiel, Morgan, Richard, that whole crew.
That's the groove too. You could call it a groove.
Yeah, they're meeting up with the Saviors again. Usual spot, doing their thing. This is a weird moment. When what's his name? Gavin. He's like the lead savior. He says to King Ezekiel, "It looks a little light," and then King Ezekiel says, "Perhaps you might look again." And then it turns out that everything's there. It seemed to me like it was going to be some kind of trap.
Yeah,
a little too early. It was just very lackluster. And even when Jerry was standing there and he asked Ezekiel, was like, now? Or now, boss? Or now?
They're really trying to work in lines for him.
Well, he did this weird thing where he's like, now? And he's like, yes, Jerry, now. And he goes over and opens the trunk. It was weird. And maybe it'll come back in another episode, you think? Where like they'll go through the same motions.
Probably.
But this time it'll be a trap. There'll be a...
They have a weird interaction. Like I think you're gonna go. I think you're gonna probably address it. But I just find it weird that he says you should take a second look, Gavin, and he literally just took like barely a step forward and said, "Oh, never mind. oh, I didn't see that. I didn't see all that. I didn't see beyond the trunk. There's some stuff in the back seat, I guess."
He's very distrusting at the beginning, and he just looks over, like, "Well, yeah, I didn't see that other row of crates."
This Gavin guy is not. He's not a savior.
Well, he's not a savior in the sense that he's not a go-getter.
Exactly.
He's not. I got to do that. I got to do my work here. I got to do my job. He's back in the real world in
a post-apocalypse, from what it seems. Like he's that job I go to every day.
Yeah, he's got to babysit Jared. He's got to make sure there's no fights going on.
Oh, he's horrible at that.
Yeah, he is. He's disillusioned.
He is.
No guns for bad boys, David.
That's
right.
No
guns for bad boys.
Too bad.
So Richard's got to give it up.
But I'm a good boy, so I can have one.
It's a weird thing to say.
Good guy.
So we got the long-haired savior named Jared. He takes Morgan's gun.
Not Morgan's gun.
Sorry, Richard. No. He takes Richard's gun, and then Morgan intervenes with his staff and gets it confiscated. And the kid intervenes too. What's the kid's name?
Oh boy, I hate when you put me on the spot like that.
Zach.
No. Okay, I'll look it up as you keep on.
Don't worry about it. He's not in this episode too much. We said it last time.
Actually, it's gonna be hard because when you scroll down on your phone just to look on IMDb, it's not like he's top billed cast. So it's a huge scroll to get in there.
No, don't worry about him. He's the protege.
That's right.
So the kid intervenes. He gets to keep his staff. I like this scene. Well, I like how Morgan is starting to fight back. Morgan is starting to see the world for what it is. He's got to protect his own.
That's right. Yeah, he's standing up for it, but he's still being a pacifist a bit.
Yes.
Yeah. Still be pacifist. I didn't understand what follows afterwards when he says, you just can't Richard will not be coming to our gatherings any longer. And then Gavin says, no, you have to keep bringing him. Like, wait, I don't understand. He presented a solution. Why aren't you?
Well, because the solution isn't just to get rid of the problem. I mean, well, I guess that's the definition of a solution. Yeah. But it's not really getting rid of the problem. You're not dealing with it. So I think what he wants more is for Richard to
be tamed,
kneel to the saviors and not be so aggressive every time.
But
so
nobody's
wants
kneeling.
to break him. No, not kneeling and not
yeah.
physically kneeling, but just he doesn't want. If someone's causing trouble for the saviors, you don't stop dealing with them. You break them.
That's a bit, I guess that's very savior of him to say. I found it unusual for him to say that rather than say, okay, just don't bring him to our, just don't bring him to our gatherings.
Yeah.
But maybe just because you want to keep, if they don't know where he is, that's actually much more dangerous too, if anything.
That's true. Yeah, keep your enemies close, David.
Yes, that's right. Well, your enemy's closer and your friend's close. You said your enemy's close. I mean, like, that's supposed to be your friends. Your enemy's closer.
Sure.
Okay.
What was that Michael Scott line? What did he say?
Oh, God.
I don't remember, but it was something about keep everyone together or something like that. So I like how Morgan asked for a stick back, too.
He's polite. Excuse me. Got my stick back, please.
Jared's just hanging out on the ground. He still hasn't gotten up. He can't believe his ears, David. He's like, what? He asks, what's the other guy's name?
Gavin.
The guy in charge. Yeah, Gavin. He's like, you believe this guy? He's like, please let me kill him. Let me kill this guy. He's like, can I please have my stick back?
The one I just, knocked your hand down with.
He doesn't even call it a staff, or what's it called? A bow staff? Or
it's a bow staff.
I mean, so you don't call it a stick. You'd think that if Morgan learned anything, he wouldn't call it a stick.
Well, I mean, you could just pick up a stick in the forest, Matthew. This is like especially
this was given to him.
That's right, exactly.
So he wouldn't just call this a stick.
So Master Splinter would give me his cane. That's a big deal. It's not just a wooden stick as it's drawn. It's Splinter's staff.
Yeah, it's a. Well, this was Drew Carey's brother's stick, so he definitely wants it back. The Goat Man, the Cheese Man. It's important. Holds sentimental value.
It does. He
doesn't get it back.
I just want to cross over these universes. Drew Carey. Let's hope Seinfeld can somehow get a step into this universe.
No, their crew would never last.
No, they wouldn't.
So back in the kingdom, Daryl wants to know what's up. He comes up. He's been held in the dark a little too long. It's like, what are all these cars doing? What are these vans doing?
He knows.
Yeah, he's just out for blood. He's angry.
He's pretty calm.
He starts chewing out Morgan for some reason. I understand he's angry. What's Morgan supposed to do? Morgan is just there.
Well,
Morgan
he's there.
doesn't control the kingdom.
Daryl is the only he could do, which he doesn't do in general, is just to talk to them into getting into war. And Daryl is not much of a talker, as we already know. At least Morgan, a lot less than he was when he first started.
Yeah, Morgan loves talking too. He could definitely.
Oh, he's a philosophizer,
self-proclaimed.
Yes, he is. But no, we're saying because after watching the first season, Daryl used to talk a lot. He started talking a lot less in season 3, I think. Like after that acid trip, when his brother came along and everything, he stopped talking less. Maybe that is a character trait that you wanted to exemplify after the death of his brother. But he slowed down since, so he doesn't talk much. And then when he has to say something, and it has to be somewhat efficient, it has to be it has to be clear because he doesn't want to waste time talking.
Yeah,
that's the impression I get of Daryl. That's his evolution. So far,
not much of an evolution.
Well, yeah, a bit of a decrease in dialogue.
Daryl says, if Carol was still around, she would be leading the march. And Morgan says that is exactly why she left.
Boom! Drop the mic.
Stick it to him.
He did. He put him in his place.
And not even the first time. He does it a little later on too.
A little.
Yeah. So, you think Morgan's changing his tune a bit here? Do you think he wants to go to war anymore?
I feel like he's trying to convince himself to stay on the same path he's always on. That's why he's just enforcing it so well. That's why he's shutting down Daryl in this case, and then he does it later on again. It's to help keep himself convinced.
Yeah, they're both at different extremes.
Exactly.
Daryl's got to learn a little bit of tact because right now he doesn't have it.
Well, he never really did.
No, I guess
that doesn't change. I don't think that ever changes.
No, probably not. So Daryl and Richard now, they become best friends.
For the time being.
Yeah, for the time being. They bond over bows and a mutual goal.
And Molotov cocktails.
Yeah, that friendship, David, is short-lived.
This it is. Very much short-term friendship.
Yeah. Daryl, they immediately go to enemies. Daryl threatens to kill Richard.
He does,
so, and because of a girl comes in between them. Doesn't that always happen that way?
No, yeah, it seems conventional, but since we know the character, it's unconventional. But it's just funny how remember in the trailer we saw the way they advertised before this later half of the season that you see Daryl just wailing on somebody. You think it's because they're going to war and they're really going to stand up to Negan. He's just wailing on Richard like someone they need on their side. And oh really? That's what it was. It was Daryl going to town on Richard.
A little lackluster, but
yeah. Well, then that's the thing is when you think about, now I'm thinking about the trailer. I'm going to break down the trailer. If I'm going to see everything within the first 3 episodes, I mean, you said there's a good chance they might not even go to war at all this season.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I don't think they'll.
I don't think they're.
Well, they're not going to go to all-out war. There may be a battle. It's not going to be a war.
Oh,
we're not going to see that yet.
Well, small soldiers here, aren't we? We have lost the battle. We have not lost the war.
It's everything, man.
I love Tommy Lee Jones to be in this part of the show.
I was thinking of Toy Soldiers. That's where I was messing up.
Yes, you were.
That was a good movie, Toy Soldiers.
Toy Soldiers?
Small Soldiers? What did you say?
I said it's Small Soldiers.
There's different movies, though. Toy Soldiers, I think, is the one where... doesn't matter.
I think you made up Toy Soldiers,
they're held
actually.
up in a school. They're held up in a school, and they're a bunch of army men. Kids in a private school, and they're...
yeah. Actually, no, I don't.
Whatever. I don't remember.
It doesn't matter. I know what I was talking about.
Moving on. Moving on. Are you familiar? Not familiar. Do you know what their goal was, or what Richard's plan was?
Oh, yeah, it was... Did you get it, or you just asked me?
No, I got it. I just figured I'd give you a chance to talk.
Oh, okay, fine. Thank you. And, no, it was to sacrifice Carol's well-being. Somehow he leads a trail to Carol, which kind of makes sense, because remember, right after you saw Carol at the mid-season finale, he ended up going to the trailer and kind of, threw one of his empty Molotovs on the floor. He had that bit of a breakdown. I guess that's why he wasn't too far from her vicinity. And I guess he was just going to... Yeah, he says he was going to leave